Mr. Dean?
Booner, what's up?
We're back at it, man. I was pretty excited for today.
Yeah,
Great sports weekend. You know?
Yeah.
Well, last week we were going to talk about a little Rivals. So Dean kind of put a little list together, and I put one
either
myself.
Secure the friendship or end it. I mean, this could be.
This could be our last broadcast. Dean has his teams. I have my teams. We realized that we only cheer for a few together.
Yeah. Well, only one that's solid, right? Like all the time.
Which is the
Hawks.
Yeah, Blackhawks, Chicago Blackhawks, for sure.
You know,
I wanted to get in the mood because I was getting excited, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just show my video.
Yeah.
And didn't I hit this like 380, almost 400?
So you pulled back a little bit. So yeah, well, this was at the summer outing, right? So if I remember right, I asked you, hey, Mike, you have anything to say to the audience here? And you only said 2 words: bye ball.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah. So, we only did this in one take. So that's pretty impressive. Look at that.
That baby's gone.
Had a little bit of a draw to it.
Little bit of draw.
Over the sand. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was a pretty good one. I had one good drive, I think, the whole 18.
Yep. Well, we caught it on video, so hey.
Yeah, there you go. And then I had to do one of my favorites, but let's see if I can cue this up without breaking something. All right, so I pulled this clip. Obviously, you guys can see the caption. Wait a minute, I gotta interact with this thing. I skipped the ad, and I'm gonna.
There we go. Look
let
at
this
that
bad boy go. Boom.
There we go.
So we tie it 2-2 with a minute 16 left in the game, But we're happy we're going overtime,
Right. Everybody's feeling pretty good about themselves right now.
Tuukka Rask, you piece of garbage.
Puck pops out.
Boom.
Nice movement. Look at that. Just like it was playing.
Well, I remember we're in Manland and we're going nuts. All right. We're like, we got him in OT, man. We've been wearing the Bruins down, All right.
Yeah, here it comes. This is chills coming.
No.
We don't need no stinking overtime.
17 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
that's awesome.
I mean, I get chills. And one thing I want. Yeah.
3-2 lead. Yes. That's pretty freaking cool.
Bowling, yeah, for league, whatever. So then I want to play the worst celebration in professional sports. It on the planet. It was one of my happiest days, right? This is 2010, right?
Yeah.
And when Kane.
Oh, okay. Yep. Taking it down low. Nobody even knew it was in the net.
But Kane. Like they're watch
he's
them.
The only one celebrating.
they keep looking back. They're like, what? Did it go in?
That's from a spot he shouldn't have been able to make it. Nobody's done that since. Yeah, we got to verify this. Did
And-
this
and
really
we
happen?
were celebrating, but we were like, "Did this really happen?" Watch this.
And when he comes back down with it, right?
Okay, woof, woof.
Here we go.
It's in.
It's stuck right there.
Boom.
So freaking cool.
It was one of our, I think that's the day I swear to God, we were in the sunroom. This is old Manland, 2010. I think I broke Nick's back. I hugged him so hard. It was our first cup. I mean, oh my God. Absolutely going nuts.
Yeah, that was pretty freaking cool. So that ended up being, what was it, 2 cups in 3 years?
Well,
Three
that,
cup-
that one was our first cup in gazillion years, since the
yeah.
60s.
1 and 210 did not the following, but then again in
13,
Yeah.
which was one of the best hockey teams ever established, was the 2013 Hawks. Was definitely the best Blackhawk team. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And 15. And what kind of hat I'm representing, I got the Chicago Blackhawks hat on,
I got Wichita State.
yeah,
So I wasn't a very good student, but when I
Right.
did go,
well,
it was Wichita State.
and I figured I'd put on my, to show more of my loyalty to the Hawks is that, a 15,
There you go. There you go.
their last
Very
cup.
nice.
right?
Yeah.
So Dean, then we move on to high school.
I figured we'd start with whatever's the most innocent between us, right? So like we went to high schools in different states. Can't really
Right.
call it a rivalry, right? But so where'd you graduate and what was the mascot there?
the Blue Devil.
Blue
Blue
Devil.
Devil.
So where I graduated, where I grew up, this actually isn't the high school I graduated from, but I spent more time in this town, so I still claim them, was a Bison. And
Okay.
we don't even really need to have the discussion. We all know who's going to win between a Blue Devil and a Bison, right?
Yeah, Blue Devil.
Bison, right? Blue Devil, just a little guy, right?
Yeah.
Bison weighs like 2 tons. So
Yeah,
you
but
can't
those
trample
devils. And so that's high school. Then we go into college sports. Now Dean is,
Yeah.
He's from where?
grew up in a little bitty town, Central City, Nebraska.
So he is a corn husker.
You don't have to giggle when you say that.
And he's representing Michigan. Hold on. Let me just.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Again, we know who the real fan is. The University of Michigan. That's my team. He's a
I thought
corn
that
husker.
was just a Mike hat. Just
No, this
amps
thing-
for Mike.
This is vintage.
Vintage. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're Harbaugh might have to go in football, but I mean, Nebraska. I don't know if they've even won. Have they won a couple games in the last century or?
Oh yeah,
Not their
we've got
football.
2 wins this year. I think one's against a high school and one's against a prep team.
Yeah. The powder puff teams.
Yeah, things are not great in the state of Nebraska for football right now.
So
I'm a loyal fan. Not
Yeah.
gonna bag on them.
Yeah. So we then move forward to baseball, and we agreed. We're both Chicago fans. You're
Chicago fans. Yep. I still, even to this day, don't root for the Twins. Just doesn't feel right.
the Chad, our buddy Chad Pratt. He's a diehard White Sox fan, and I can get him going so fast, so easy when I tell him I'm a Chicago fan, and he's like, "You can't be. You're a Cubs fan." I go, "I like the White Sox. If the Cubs aren't in it, I'm cheering for the White Sox." And he gets bent. Like,
Oh yeah, he wants you to choose. You're either north side or south side.
right. So if I start cheering for the White Sox, like, "Oh yeah, jump on the bandwagon," stuff like that.
No,
I'm
no.
like, whatever, bro. So we agreed on we're, Cub fans,
Yep.
and of course I represent, and I think, yeah. Where's your?
Got like
We're still
32
sticking
hats.
with the Wichita State hat,
Well, I didn't
This
know
is
we were
what-
changing props. I can go get more hats, but I didn't realize this was going to be interactive like this.
Well, I figured that, you would prepare for our national televised podcast.
That hurts. I came up with the idea. I thought this was going to be a friendly banter. And sure, you go for the jugular. I mean, that's a Mike Kuhn thing, right?
Yeah. We moved to the sport of basketball. We like the Bulls. You don't really follow basketball much.
Not much. When I lived in town, I think we went to a Bulls game or two, maybe.
Michael Jordan,
it's
come
nice
on.
to watch the home team win, and when the home team is Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen,
Yeah,
Rodman, that's hard not to like those
college,
guys, right?
The Fab Five. Oh, all right.
Oh, no, you're going to go back to
Michigan, the Fab Five.
So Wichita State did make a Final Four out of the Missouri Valley League, which that should never happen, right? But and that's more recent than Michigan, by the way.
Yeah, and then we move on to the sport of football. I've always been, a Chicago fan, which I'll just put my Bears hat on. And I've always been, ever since I was little, I think I like the colors, a Raiders fan. I can't even say Oakland Raider, Los Angeles Raider. Now they're, Las Vegas Raiders.
Right.
And I looked around in my hat. My Raiders hat, I probably had it. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's in the living room because I watched them win on Sunday. And who was your NFL team? I kind of forgot already.
Hey, I am completely loyal to my Chiefs. So while you go back and forth between the Bears and the Raiders,
how'd they do this?
Who's having a winning season? You change, but I'm always a Chiefs fan.
So I should break out my text. So I'm giving Dean crap on Sunday because I don't jinx it. I wait to make sure they lose, or the Raiders win.
Right.
And I text him. I'm like, hey, man, I didn't watch football all day. I mean, did the Chiefs win? And he comes back all salty. Oh, 4 turnovers. What'd you say? Something like.
Yeah, if you're going to turn the ball over in your first 3 possessions, you deserve to lose. Mahomes, this. Can't let that happen.
Yeah. And so I came back and I said, I heard the Chiefs are changing their name to the Chiefs to the Chumps. And Dean gives me this Sally, oh my God, I can't even talk to you about this. You're too mean or something like
mean.
that.
You're no fun to play with. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
He was still pouting because the Chiefs lost.
Serious, man. I can't handle it. I get
absolutely
invested.
And then we agree back. We're back on, the hockey,
Blackhawks.
The Blackhawks.
2 guys like us. This one kind of is funny to me. Like we can even pick rivalries in golf.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I skip golf. I'm a DJ fan, Dustin Johnson fan. And here he's a Tiger fan. I've been a Tiger fan too.
I'm still a Tiger fan, even with all the crazy that the guy has stirred up in his own life. There's just something legendary about the man.
Well, when he came back after his wife took him for everything, and his 15 mistress kind of let the cork off the bottle or whatever. But and you know what? And anyone, obviously, info at mikeanddean.com. Has anyone heard about his broken leg? And I mean, everyone's kept it quiet. He had that accident.
He's not been in the news at all. Yeah.
So what do you think? He's done for good or what?
I think he'll come back and he'll give it one more run. He'll win a tournament. He might not win another major, but he'll get another win or 2, just enough so that he goes out with a decent name at the end of the sport. And then he's going to move on to all of his other things, right? He's building golf courses now. He's going to be an ambassador for the sport, that kind of stuff. But boy, back in the day when he was that arrogant SOB, step up to the tee box, he just knew he was going to win every week.
Well, Big Matt's him and I golf all the time. And we talk about when Tiger was at number 1 in his game, he went to his swing coach and he goes, I want to change my swing. Like, who does that? He's the best in the world. And he goes, I think I could be better. And he freaking did. He changed his entire swing. Yeah. And then he would win more majors again.
Changes his clubs, changes his putter, changes the ball he uses. And how many weeks was he ranked number 1? 300 weeks, something ridiculous like that. 4 years.
Unbelievable. And you know what? When he got stopped, when he got caught by his wife, that's when he went down the tubes.
Yeah, he's been mortal ever since.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
But I kid Ben Aldrin, a friend of ours, and Matt and Jake the Snake. We golf and stuff, and I always give, we're always pulling on each other's chain and stuff. And I made up a fake Dustin Johnson Gmail account, and I sent out this email from DJ to Ben, Matt, and I, and the email was from the fake Dustin Johnson saying, I really want to send best wishes out to everyone. Matt, Ben, listen to Mike. I mean, he really helped me with my swing and
my God.
all kinds of stuff. And then the Shiloh up in Zion, Illinois, they had a St. Patrick's. They do it every year. It's a 9 holes event, and it was handicapped or, not handicapped. It was certain holes. You didn't know which holes they took for your score.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
it
Okay.
could have been 3, but nobody knew, and whatever. Well, I end up winning the damn thing. And oh yeah.
And then I bet DJ sent you a congratulatory email then, didn't he?
Oh, he said congratulations on changing the Shiloh, their name. It's been, in Zion and the Shiloh Country Club, whatever, for 70 years, and they're changing it to Cooner's Castle. And
my God,
he was going to fly down, for the ribbon ceremony for me cutting and
Right.
Ben, and I mean, Ben got so bad, he didn't want to talk to me, even though he obviously, I'm just kidding, but I've taken things a little far sometimes,
the little bell that plays in the back of your head. Sometimes it says, maybe I shouldn't say that. Your bell's broken.
Yeah. I just
Like thrown on the ground, stomped into a little bitty smashed piece.
my wife always says, she's like, you always say what people are just thinking. I'm like, oh yeah. Sometimes my filter is
That's the best possible moment as well, right?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But so every now and then, Matt called me this morning. Matter of fact, I was on my way to work, and he was like, did you see that the new commercial with Dustin Johnson? He goes, funny, I didn't see you in the commercial. And
Nice.
I come back without a hesitation. I said, you know what? These damn publicists and stuff, we did like 4 takes. They took the wrong one. I mean, because I think
I'm surprised you didn't come back with, DJ's a little fragile right now. I thought it'd be best to let him be in the video by himself, boost his confidence a little bit.
Yeah. And Matt's like, okay, champ, and whatever. But then,
Awesome.
we talk about sports and professional, college, high school, whatever. But then I remember, because we're competitive on the golf course, and then this and that. We played that bingo, bango, bongo thing where first on, first in, whatever. But it's always like, no, I'm out. And then I started. I'm like, no. The best one. We were at a bar called Used to Be's.
Yes.
Right?
Used to Be's. Yeah.
Yeah. And they had this golf game, with the ball, the track ball, and you bowl and
right.
You knock down the pins. Dean suggested, to be fair, that we don't use our hands. We bowl with our noses.
Well, that seemed at the time, you and Charlie were really familiar with that game. So I'm thinking, well, how do we level the playing field here?
Yeah.
I got it. No use of hands.
Yeah. So and this is, all the other patrons probably thought we were like idiots. Because, we're giving ourselves high fives when, we pick up a spare with our nose,
Yeah. That's hard to do. Have you ever tried bowling with your nose, people? Come on.
I can say I have, but I don't know if all the listeners out there, if they have or not. But you remember what it turned into? Because I was working I was working at American Express at the day back then, Rolling Meadows, Illinois. And I was on the computer all the time, typing, 2 monitors back then was a big deal or whatever. And I don't know who suggested it, but we started playing the game Knuckles.
Knuckles. Yeah.
Now, anyone know what that is? Where
I think it's probably pretty self-explanatory, right?
someone puts their hand out and you try to graze their knuckles.
Put your knuckles together, and whoever, trying to get them right on the tip of that knuckle, because that's where it hurts the most.
So then we start creating our own rules. Like you can only pull back, because Charlie would be like, all right, my turn, So you can only pull back certain distance.
It's supposed to be just a little flick of the wrist, but that lasted about 5 minutes.
So we're right-handed, and we're cracking each other. And granted, now this is while we have been drinking and we're continuing to drink. So I'm a pretty coordinated guy, and I think Dean is too. Charlie's pretty good, but we started not hitting knuckles. We started hitting on the top of the hand by accident, which I know mine was accidents when I was hitting you guys.
Right,
I think Dean purposely was hitting up there, so it hurt more.
I had to aim back because you were scared,
well,
and you'd pull back.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to hit your hand in motion as it's getting pulled back.
So, Charlie's up, then he goes against Dean, and we're doing the round robin thing or whatever. And we're starting to hit people in the wrist, top of the hand, a knuckle every now, whatever. And then we decide we don't call a truce because, whoever quits first, they lose, So we're idiots and we keep going. Someone suggests, well, let's go left-handed.
Right.
Well, not only our right hands are all fricked up, right? We go left-handed. Long story short, I went to American Express on Monday, and my hands, I don't know how the camera picked, but it was like swollen from my wrist to my knuckle. Like I couldn't
look like you needed to go have fluid drained off the back of your hand.
Does anyone remember like Sanford and Son, Fred Sanford, and he'd be like, my arthritis or what? I'm like, I'm gonna lose my job. Like I couldn't type. It hurt to type, and then we're calling. This is when cell phones are kind of new, right? I don't know if it was cell phones or we used pagers, and then we used.
It was probably first payphone or first cell phone I had right around that time, like that brick Nokia thing. I think is what it was.
Yeah, and we're calling each other now. We don't want to like go, like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how's your day going? Yeah, good weekend. How you feeling? Yeah. And of course, on the other end of the phone call, Dean or I'm talking to Charlie. No, I'm pretty good. Right. And finally, it all comes out. We're like, oh my god, I'm hurting.
I couldn't even get dressed this morning. I couldn't zip my pants.
Yeah. and Charlie was working at the high school, so he was doing more manual or physical labor. And he's like, I would go hide, and curl up in a mat or something, and because he goes, my hands, I couldn't carry a shovel or
lift
whatever.
Anything, couldn't grip the stick of a shovel. Yeah.
So that's the thing that years past go by and whatever, or some shenanigans are happening, and someone said, oh, I want to play Knuckles, and we all kind of like look at like no, I don't think we should do that again.
That's silly. Why would you do that?
Oh, we were immature back then. Yeah, because I swear to God, it kind of reminds me of when my dad would give me a whooping with the barber strap. I didn't get a belt. I got a barber strap. And when you whatever, threw a rock through a window or whatever we did, and then you go do it, you start to do it again down the line, And I'd always tell my kids, I would stop doing it because I could feel my butt getting hot.
Yeah, you knew what was coming if
Right.
you got caught.
Yeah. Like I remember last time. And that's how I felt about Knuckles. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
God, no. We're not doing Knuckles here.
That's a good tie-in. Like the whole competition thing. We did it out of competition, right? Well, crap. If your dad was part of that competition, we all lost because there ain't no way I'm taking a barber strap from your dad.
No. Yeah, and not good. But when we were talking about competition, obviously we always Michigan, Nebraska, the Chiefs, the Bears, Raiders, whatever. And the AFC, the Raiders and the Chiefs are so that's kind of a rival. Raiders have kind of taken in the not so well the last couple of years, but I think the Raiders got a pretty good team this year.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous to be honest with you. Watching what the Chiefs have done the last couple of weeks, man. That's why got to put up 50 points a game.
Here, the National Football League is tough when the best quarterback in history from the University of Michigan, Tom Brady, he got his butt handed to him over the weekend. The Rams, man, put a hurt in him.
Say too much about Tampa Bay this past weekend. Now that I'm thinking about it,
well,
you went right to the Raiders conversation.
How many more Super Bowls can the guy win?
He's got 3 more fingers without a ring on him. So,
yeah. I mean, did you notice all the commercials with him and Gronk now? Like, I think they're all like cashing in at the end of their. I mean, they're rich, as more than we'll ever see in our 5
on
like
TV
6
every day. Yeah,
yeah, but they got some good funny commercials. Him and Gronk.
Gronk has to. He's a little punch happy, don't you think? He's not as smooth and debonair as Brady is.
He's a single guy. He never got married, and he party hardy. He was on The Masked Singer. I mean, all kinds of stuff. But he's funny. I like that they kind of make him out to he's at home, still living home with his mom.
Yeah,
he's like, Mom, where's my football pants? After he sees Brady's commercial that he's coming to Tampa or whatever.
Tampa. Yep, I remember that one too. Yep.
But I'm sure we'll have some more rivals down the line. I did forget last week. Remember the day I forgot last week?
Yeah, we heard about that.
Yeah, I want to send a belated birthday out to Dina Alley. She's with Coldwell Banker. It was her birthday last week, and I think I queued up birthday song for her. Coldwell Banker, and when I had at one time for business number or whatever, but Coldwell Banker out of Libertyville, she does a fine job. She just helped my oldest Tyler get his first house with his girlfriend Jordan, and she did an amazing job, man. She's a worker, I'll give her that, but I apologize to her already I forgot to mention her birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Dina. And Dina, if you're listening, yes, I'm still holding a grudge.
You know
exactly why.
Okay.
I won't bring it up. I'll be respectful. I won't say the why. But you still, yes.
So I have we do a little kind of write down things of what we're going to say in the show or try to talk about. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. He's like, yeah, Dean still has a beef with Dina to this day. She knows why, but we won't mention it. And I'm like, what the heck is it? And
you think about it. Think about it.
Man, well, I will think about that. But before we go, we talk about rivals and stuff. I want to show a clip of my godson, I might add.
Huh?
There's Blockhead. Number 33 right there is Dean's only son.
Yep.
Ethan.
He's the youngest in the family. He's the only boy.
And he's a stud.
A little bit of his hype reel here. Put something together for him so he can start to we put it together so he can learn what he needs to do better, but it turned into a hype reel where we have caught a lot of his good saves here.
Yeah, and now he switches to 30. You said that was when he was a little bit younger, or?
This one was the year before the one that you had just showed.
Yeah,
So
we're
this
gonna.
would be like first year bantam. The other one was second year bantam, and now he'll be at the high school. So
He's a
he'll be a
freshman, right?
sophomore. He'll be a sophomore at the high school this year.
Jesus,
I
criminal.
think there's a kid who's probably got the in on the starting varsity job, but Ethan should make a run at being number 2 guy.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. He's been playing in some kind of prep league stuff right now, going to captain's practices a couple days a week, trying to get ready for the season.
All right, and not that I'm the cheapest guy in the world, but this hockey is got to be one of the, especially a goalie. I mean, what's his pad? He got new pads you're talking about.
Yeah.
What those run?
So let's start at the beginning here. So a typical set of goalie equipment, the pads, the glove, the blocker, the stick, the helmet. You're probably into that for about $2,500. Pads are anywhere from 15 to 17. Glove and blocker are about 300 a piece.
And I was griping about new because my kids' feet would grow for wrestling shoes.
Yeah. And what are those? $100?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Well, and you'll be proud of him. Your godson here has become quite the negotiator. This is probably the last set of pads that we will buy because, if he goes on to play beyond high school, the college that he goes to will buy him. Anything beyond that, the team he plays for probably buys his equipment. So he made me believe that it was a good idea that we invested in some custom pads for him for this year. So he's got a brand new set of power pads coming. They've been printed to look like a 70s pair of leather pads. They're going to be wicked, but at about another $1,000 to the number I gave you.
Unbelievable. Now, he has them already, or?
They're being shipped. So we don't have them yet. Everybody's backed up. You see the things on TV about all these shipping, big container ships that are caught off the coast of California because they can't hire enough people to unload them. And there's like 50 ships out there waiting to be unloaded. His shit's caught up in the middle of that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So he might be right at the beginning of the season before he gets these now. It could be late October before he gets them.
And when did you order them?
In July.
Oh, not too bad ago, but I mean, that's still. I ordered a hot tub cover
to 16 weeks. Yeah. You ordered a new hot tub?
A hot tub cover.
Oh, cover.
And it took, just under a year for us to get the new, get it. And I call them and talk about Mr. Negotiator. I kind of negotiate everything. And I call them up. I figure I'll just gripe, and I'll get some money off. I said, listen, I've been waiting 7 months and still not here. I want some money off. They go, no. I said, okay, well, I'll just cancel my order then. Figure I'll bluff them. They go, okay. I go, no. All right, fine. I'll wait for it to get here because that's the world right now.
That's the situation. There's nobody else can be able to get it for you. And if you placed a new order now, well, you can start the clock again because it's going to be that much longer before you get there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we got to another one, Dino.
Yeah, we're getting pretty good at this, I think.
Yeah. Want to make sure everyone remembers if look us up on the World Wide Web. There's our website, www.mikeand.com. We did get some emails about our last stuff. We love it. We're putting a compilation together to answer all your questions via email or bring it up on the show. But any past rivals that you and your buddies or family members or, I would.
Cornhusker fans, go ahead and call in. Support for Scott Frost.
You know what? I'm going to have to check our email server because all the Michigan fans, I don't know if I'll be able to handle all the fan mail. You know what I mean?
That's a good thing Michigan guys can't spell.
Yeah, see? That's why Kansas City just uses the initials KC because...
Exactly. That's why Nebraska uses N, right? N for knowledge.
All right, Dino, till next time. What are we talking about next time? You figured it out yet?
I got to I'll have to come up with a good one.
I don't understand the thing.
Again, people, check us out on the World Wide Web. Email us at info@mikeandD.com. We appreciate everything. Dino, we'll see you next time.
Have a good one. Thank you.
And I'm counting on you. You can carry me through. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Won't you